right, let's go.
Let's ride this rodeo.
Okay, I'd like to go ahead and open up the Warrenton Board of Alderman meeting for Tuesday, January 17, 2023. If you would, please stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance with us. I pledge allegiance. Hold on.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Next item will be the consent agenda.
We have the regular and executive session minutes from January 3rd, 2023.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda items as submitted.
So moved. Second.
Alderman Cullum first. Alderman Cullum, seconded by Alderman. Which one?
That would be Crump.
Alderman Crump. Roll call vote.
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz,
Yes.
Alderman Crump,
Yes.
Alderman Quarter,
Yes.
Alderman Cullum,
Yes.
Alderman Jaspering.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0. Next will be public comments. Anybody in the public would like to come forward, come to the podium, state your name. We'll give you 5 minutes to speak. Not see anybody, we'll move on. Next will be Board of Alderman comments. Any?
Nothing.
Nothing today.
Okay. Under Mayor's comments, we'll have the reappointments of Brian King and Bradford H. Proctor to the Board of Directors of the Shops at Warrenton Community Improvement District for a 4-year term expiring March 19th of 2027. Any questions on that?
Nope.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the reappointment of Brian King and Bradford H. Proctor to the Board of Directors of the Shops at Warrenton Community Improvement District for a 4-year term to expire March 19th, 2027.
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Alderman Cullum, second by Alderman Quarter. Roll call vote.
Alderman Schultz,
Yes.
Alderman Crump,
Yes.
Alderman Quarter,
Yes.
Alderman Cullum,
Yes.
Alderman Jaspering,
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0 for reappointment. Next, we'll hear from City Administrator Brandy Walters.
Good evening. The first thing that I have for you tonight is a bill. At the last meeting, we had talked about going out to the voters for a bond issue of $13 million to upgrade the wastewater treatment plant and add an additional water storage to the south side of town. And this is the bill in order for us to take this to the voters in April for a no tax increase.
Any questions on that?
Randy, you said water storage, so this is not a well that we talked about?
It will be a well.
Okay.
And storage.
Okay, got you.
Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of Bill number 01-23.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Miller, second by Alderman Crump.
An ordinance calling a bond election in the city of Warrenton, Missouri, and authorizing certain actions in connection therewith.
I'll entertain a motion for the second reading of Bill number 01-23.
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Alderman Quarter, second by Alderman Cullum.
An ordinance calling a bond election in the city of Warrenton, Missouri, and authorizing certain actions in connection therewith.
I'll vote.
Alderman Crump,
Yes.
Alderman Quarter,
Yes.
Alderman Cullum,
Yes.
Alderman Jaspering,
Yes.
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz.
Yes.
Bill passes 6-0.
The next thing I have for you tonight is the approval of the flex time for 2023. This is where exempt employees earn the prior year in 2022 for any hours that they've worked above and beyond the 2180. They're expected to work 2180, which is 100 hours over the normal 40-hour week. And then we give 23% of that back to the employee as time off. So this year, this is the years that they earned, or the hours that they earned last year.
Questions on that? I'll entertain a motion to approve the flex time for 2022.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Crump, second by Alderman Quarter. Roll call vote.
Alderman Quarter,
Yes.
Alderman Cullum,
Yes.
Alderman Jaspering,
Yes.
Alderman Miller,
Yes.
Alderman Schultz,
Yes.
Alderman Crump.
Yes.
Motion passes 6-0.
I also have another ordinance tonight for you that was discussed at the last board meeting, and this is also to go to the voters in April for a 3% tax on the recreational marijuana. And And these monies would just go into our general fund.
3% increase.
3% on recreational tax
Yeah.
only,
Yeah.
or recreational marijuana only.
So this is more like a use tax, correct? It's only taxable if you
use that
purchase the
product.
item or
Yes.
product.
It's not really considered a
Use
use tax,
tax.
like
You
internet
can't
tax.
throw that
I don't
on
want to get
public.
that confused.
Because in a
A
similar
usable
sense.
tax. So, okay.
Any other questions? I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 02-23.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Corder, second by Alderman Crump.
An ordinance of the City of Warrenton, Missouri submitting to the qualified voters of the city for their consideration at the general municipal election to be held in the city on the 4th day of April 2023, a proposition to authorize the city to impose a sales tax at the rate of 3% on the receipts from all retail sales of adult use marijuana.
I'll entertain a motion for the second reading of bill number 02-23.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Schultz, seconded by Alderman Crump.
An ordinance of the City of Warrenton, Missouri submitting to the qualified voters of the city for their consideration at the general municipal election to be held in the city on the 4th day of April 2023, a proposition to authorize the city to impose a sales tax at the rate of 3% on the receipts from all retail sales of adult use marijuana.
Before we go to a roll call vote, just for clarification, this is just to put it on the ballot, in case there's any misunderstanding, not to decide yes or no.
Absolutely.
Roll call vote?
Alderman Cullum?
No.
Alderman Jaspering?
No.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Alderman Corder?
Yes.
Bill passes 4-2.
The next thing I have for you tonight is the annexation agreement. We had talked about this a few meetings back. This is the agreement with the property at the north side of the interchange. And under this agreement, if the property owner, once we sign this agreement, they could annex that property into the city. And once they annex into the city, we will start doing the engineering to get the sewer usage there. There's already a water provider there, but we would get the sewer there. And then once they brought a viable project for that, then we would go ahead and start doing the actual physical lane of the sewer. This agreement also has where they have an option in there if for some reason they bring in a project and it doesn't get the zoning that they actually request for, they have the option to de-annex from the city.
Any other questions on that? No. I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 03-23.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Crump, seconded by Alderman Corder.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute an annexation agreement for a tract of land generally located at 22151 North Service Road in Warren County, Missouri.
I'll entertain a motion for the second reading of bill number 03-23.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Miller, seconded by Alderman Jaspering.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute an annexation agreement for a tract of land generally located at 22151 North Service Road in Warren County, Missouri.
Roll call vote?
Alderman Jaspering?
Yes.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Schultz? Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Alderman Corder?
Yes.
Alderman Cullum?
Yes.
Bill passes 6-0.
As for operational updates, the one thing that I have for you tonight is that, as you guys, most of you are aware, Brad Buzicruz, our grounds and maintenance director, is retiring on February 1st, 2023, so in less than a month. We will be having a luncheon for him here on February 1st at noon, and you guys are all invited. We are also happy to announce that Justin Knoll has agreed to take that position, and Justin is here with us tonight.
So he's learning the ropes.
He is.
Yes. Big shoes to fill.
And that's all that I have for you tonight.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Director of Operations, John Struckoff.
Good evening. The first item I have for you tonight is the year-end admin report. Just a few accomplishments that you see on that report. A lot of them come from the city clerk. The annexation of approximately 60 acres, held 59 meetings in 2022, 39 were Board of Alderman meetings, created 79 ordinances for approval, completed 57 burial arrangements, completed 64 cemetery lots sold, completed 138 records requests and completed 28 sealed bid openings. That's just a small portion of what the city clerk does on a daily basis. So, and then the admin side, we migrated from an antiquated email system into a new email system. We completed that at the first of the year, so we're about a year into that. Integrated a new servers and a cloud backup system to increase security and or increase IT security and redundancy. Sold used item on Gov Deals for just under $10,000, and we had 418 social media posts and 786 new likes just on the city Facebook page. That's not including the aquatic center, the police page, or the animal control page. So, do you have any questions on anything on the year-end report?
Good.
Next item I have for you tonight is the Montgomery County bulk sewer agreement. We've been talking about this for quite some time. They own a treatment plant, a small treatment plant off of Dry Fork Road, and they're wanting to give us the sewer rather than treating their own sewer there. They're having some issues with their plant. Originally, the plan was they were going to pump to our lift station on Dry Fork Road there, and then we're going to pump it in our system. They've since had some issues with getting the sewer to run that way due to some new buildings and stuff. And they're proposing now to just pump it all the way up to the hill and discharge into our gravity sewer so we wouldn't have to pump it again. So this is just an amendment of their bulk sewer agreement that we entered into with them in 2017, and we're just adding that location.
Any questions on that? I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 04-23.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Crump, seconded by Alderman Jaspering.
An ordinance authorizing execution of a First Amendment to bulk sewer treatment agreement between Montgomery County Public Water Supply District Number 1 and the City of Warrenton, Missouri.
Entertain a motion for the second reading of bill number 04-23.
So moved. Second.
We're going to go with Schultz on the first one. I didn't hear who got the second one.
Sound like Miller.
Miller. First motion was made by Alderman Schultz, seconded by Alderman Miller.
An ordinance authorizing execution of a First Amendment to bulk sewer treatment agreement between Montgomery County Public Water Supply District Number 1 and the City of Warrenton, Missouri.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Alderman Schultz.
Yes.
Alderman Crump.
Yes.
Alderman Corder.
Yes.
Alderman Cullum.
Yes.
Alderman Jaspering.
Yes.
Bill passes 6-0.
Next item I have for you tonight is a resolution for a TAP grant. Quite a while ago, we were awarded a TAP grant for the sidewalk along Veterans Memorial Parkway from just west of Market Street to the far east entrance of the shops. We were funded. We had that project broke into 3 phases. They funded the first 2 phases, and we were going to 100% fund the 3rd phase. We went out to bid for that late last year. We had one bidder, and apparently we had some language wrong in the bid documents. So they rejected, MoDOT or the FHWA rejected our bid. So we have to rebid the project. In the meantime, they did not hand out all their money for the TAP grant the last time. So they suggested that we apply again for an additional TAP grant for the same project for phase 3. So we're going to see if we can get phase 3 funded through the TAP grant now. And this is a resolution to allow us to do that. So it's going to save us money in the long run if we get the TAP grant.
Any questions on that? I'll entertain a motion to approve the reading of resolution number 340.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Crump, seconded by Alderman Corder. I'm sorry. Motion made by Alderman Corder, seconded by Alderman Cullum. I apologize.
Thanks for thinking about me.
Anytime.
A resolution supporting the Transportation Alternatives Program TAP application for funding for safety improvements on Veteran Memorial Parkway through the Missouri Department of Transportation, MoDOT.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Schultz.
Yes.
Alderman Crump.
Yes.
Alderman Corder.
Yes.
Alderman Cullum.
Yes.
Alderman Jaspering.
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Resolution passes 6-0.
That's all I have tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Aquatics Director Lisa Kramer.
Good evening. You have in front of you the 2022 aquatic accomplishments and the year-end report. Some highlights we have is during the year of 2022, we hired 20 new staff that were lifeguards, guest services, and water fit instructors. We had 207 participants in private swim lessons and 226 participants in group swim lessons. Each month, we offered 17 water fit classes. We had 10 participants in our junior lifeguard class, of which 5 of them have become lifeguards this year. 34 families signed up for Cookies with Santa in December, with 75 kids being part of that 34 families and 62 adults. We gave 47 birthday parties this year. And we sold 458 new memberships, 211 renewal memberships, which was a total of 669 memberships. And we had 32,775 people visit the Aquatic Center this year. Anybody have any questions?
How do you feel about 32,000? Is that a good number? I don't know, I'm just asking.
Our numbers for attendance this year were up from last year. I don't have real numbers to compare because 2018 we started in October. 2019 I didn't start until August, and then 2020 was COVID. 2021 we got a little better, but this year is our highest attendance numbers that we've had since the pool's been open.
Thank you.
Next, we're from Ground Maintenance Director Brad Boozy-Cruz for, is this the last time, Brad?
Last one, yes.
You say that with a big smile on your face, Brad.
Seemed a little happy about that.
Yeah, Brad, let's talk about this for a minute.
You all will be in very good hands, believe me. You have my, I guess, the yearly maintenance report, and also a list of some of the accomplishments we did in 2022. We completed the upstairs remodel of the City Hall. We erected the batting cage for the Optimist Club to honor Bob Hysong. We overlaid 4 pickleball courts at Dyer and Morgan parks. Removed 20 trees in the parks. Took delivery of our new 8-foot Toro Moor for out at the complex. Did the preparation for at the complex for the wall that heals. Added North 47 to our mowing schedule. Made repairs to 36 streetlights and converted 12 to LED. And we also, right at the end, constructed the city's new Christmas photo spot and float. So any questions?
Yeah, Brad, how did the Christmas photo booth do? Did we have pretty good turnout?
Jenna was one that took care of that. We just did the thing, but there was quite a few on Facebook and different ones that Jenna, because we kind of wanted to know ourselves, and turned out pretty good. I think more people next year, I think it'll be up a little sooner because we were, y'all kind of hit us right at the last there to get something together. But I think next year, I think it should do, more people will know about it, and I think they'll do pretty good.
I'll say for throwing, I know it was kind of time crunch, but it looked good.
It
It was
did.
very
It
nice.
really did. A lot of people commented on it, especially being able to get out of the wind. If it was windy, to be able to take some pictures, the full box type shape really kind of helped out.
Jenna had a good idea on that. I mean, she's the one that did the design and everything, and we just took it from there.
Yeah, I didn't know how it'd turn out, but I don't know how many times I was leaving work and saw people over there.
Yeah.
I got a lot of compliments on it, a lot of folks, so.
Thank you.
Hey, Brad, before we close this with you, thanks for all you have done for this community and all your service, and we look forward to seeing you around and doing a little bit more
I'm sure I will.
Things. But I hope that everybody realizes that how valuable you have been to this community, and we appreciate everything. I appreciate everything that you do, and I think everyone else does too. They may not always say it. They may not always say it, but I think they do.
Yep.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad.
Thank you.
Thanks.
You can start growing hair now. Start ripping it out. Next, we'll hear from Public Works Director Guy Jeevers.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. You have my 2022 accomplishments. We had 1,708 Missouri locates that we did. We flushed 37,915 feet of routine sewer flushing. We had 31 emergency sewer calls. 22 of them were on the city side, 9 were on private. We completed the sidewalk on Highway 47. Stormwater improvements on Boone Slick was completed. The UV disinfection at the wastewater treatment plant was completed. The Fairlane to the wastewater treatment plant sewer upgrade, including the paving of Fairlane Circle, was completed. CIP pipe rehab was completed. Water main improvements on Tomahawk, Hawthorne, Vashel. New well at Warrior Tower. The industrial water tower painting was completed, and we changed the gas chlorine to liquid. Any questions?
I believe so.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we'll hear from Building Commissioner Mike Cross.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. You have a copy of my annual report and our accomplishments for the 2022 year. A few of the highlights this year: Walmart underwent an $850,000 renovation, which really made the store look pretty nice on the inside. Brought it into the new era. The fueler store is underway. As you guys drive by, you'll see that they're back on that. Getting ready for tank installation today, so they were digging a large hole for that. Pollard Properties, 2 new apartment buildings with 10 new apartments. The Farmers Mutual building turned out very nice. They've got the landscaping done now, and that turned out very nice. As you know, there's been a lot of new businesses in the shops of Warrenton. We had 12 new building permits last year with 5 different builders, and hopefully to surpass that this year. Hopefully the economy holds out and we have the infrastructure now in the ground that we can continue forward. All these accomplishments are just not available to the building department. It takes everybody in this city to make that happen. The staff management we have here allow us to do our job that lets us get done what we need to get done. So it's just not one department as far as I'm concerned, it's all of us together. So that's our accomplishments for the year.
Pretty big accomplishment.
Yeah, you did great.
Any other questions?
Mike, is this just a quick question on the number of builders? We had 5 different, I mean, is that seems like that's quite a few for us, is 5 different builders
Yes.
building in the community, so.
It was.
Okay.
Hopefully as some more lots get sold up at Pinckney, we'll start seeing a little more diversity
more
up there
up
with
there.
some builders.
Okay. Hopefully the economy will hold up what we can do
I
to
hope
see
so.
that.
We're ready for it, so
Yeah.
all we need is the economy to be ready.
Well, it looks good over there. They're ready to start digging holes, so it looks
They
good.
are. So there's 5 under construction now.
Okay.
So
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Next, we'll hear from Chief of Police Larry Eller.
Good evening. You have my yearly summary, and also I've got some accomplishments to list for 2022. The first being that we passed with flying colors, thanks to the hard work of Nancy. Our first assessment after our initial accreditation. One of our sergeants, Sergeant Kavanaugh, applied for a grant, and we received some mobile ticket printers to run as a test program, which is underway right now. We revamped our entire body camera system, including a lot of work put in by Mr. Struckoff. necessitated the construction of a new video server to make that all work. And we also transitioned from 40 cal to 9mm Glocks, which increased our range scores up to 98% and saved us a bunch of money on ammo. 9mm is a lot cheaper than 40. And not listed on here, but it's on the on my yearly summary is the highlights from code enforcement. I think he single-handedly addressed 1,600, I think, ordinance complaints and only had to write 6 citations or 8 to gain compliance. I think that's outstanding. If you go back up to the top of that. Sorry, he handled 644 and only had to issue 4 summons to gain compliance on over 600 ordinance violations. I think that's excellent.
That's great. And you can tell that throughout the city. I mean, you can see his work and the things that he's done.
He takes that very seriously. And on top of that, I mean, you can see at the bottom of the page, he also has a bunch of extra responsibilities that he takes care of on top of all that.
Chief, I'm just curious, what happened with the old pistols? Did they get sold back to the company or
Right,
traded in?
Yeah,
Traded
Glock
in?
takes them back on a trade-in.
Okay, cool.
Any other questions?
Nope.
All right. Next, we'll hear from Director of Planning and Development, Tim Burks. No, come to the podium. Here it goes.
Well, it's a little bit easier.
There's
I
a
got
mic back
projects
there.
tonight too. So you have a copy of my yearly report and my accomplishment. A couple of highlights on the yearly report. We had a new business open in December. We had a ribbon cutting for the KO Knockout Fitness at the Warrenton Shops. Couple of accomplishments. I completed 2 online training courses. I was able to complete and obtain my FAA Part 107 remote pilot's license along with John Struckoff.
Great.
So we're qualified to fly the drone. I assisted Melody with updating our planning and zoning applications. We designed all new signs that are put out for our projects now. We had 24 new businesses for the year 2022 in the city, and we had 38 zoning items that went in front of the board. Do you have any questions? Nope.
I believe so.
You're up, Tim.
We'll give you the floor, Tim.
It's all yours.
All right, so the first item on the agenda is the amendment
125, 126, and 127. They're all put together on this bill. It's for the home occupation. Code changes for home occupation. The state statute had changed for home occupations. The city no longer required a home occupation permit or other kind of zoning permit prior to someone operating a home-based business. The bill prohibits cities from imposing permits or license requirements on home occupations. People with home occupations do not have to tell the city anymore, and this code change makes it, brings our city code up to the state legislation. The public hearing notice was posted in Warren County Record on December 15th. The Planning and Zoning Commission voted on all 3 of these amendments on the January 5th, and the motion was passed 8-0 with 2 absent. Any questions on that one?
So basically, this is just bringing us into compliance with the changes and amendments made at the state level.
Yes, sir.
I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 05-23.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Quarter, seconded by Alderman Crump.
Correct.
I was right that time?
Yeah.
Okay.
An ordinance of the City of Warrenton, Missouri, amending Section 405.050, 405.210, and 605.010 of the Municipal Code of the City of Warrenton by deleting them in their entirety, enacting new Section 405.210 and 605.010, and providing for the regulations of home occupation.
Entertain a motion for the second reading of Bill number 05-23.
So move. Second.
Motion made by Alderman Miller, seconded by Alderman Schultz.
An ordinance of the City of Warrenton, Missouri, amending Section 405.050, 405.210, and 605.010 of the Municipal Code of the City of Warrenton by deleting them in their entirety, enacting new Section 405.210 and 605.010, and providing for the regulation of home occupations.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Crump.
Yes.
Alderman Quarter.
Yes.
Alderman Cullum.
Yes.
Alderman Jaspering.
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Alderman Schultz.
Yes.
Bill passes 6-0.
Next project is the Oak Acres Villa Final Plat, SUBD 106. Wolf Family Trust has submitted an application for a record plat approval for 1.22 acres on the west side of Warrenton Village Drive, north of Wolf Road. The final plat is consistent with the preliminary plat previously approved for the subject site by the City of Warrenton Board of Aldermen on August 16, 2022 with Bill 5322. The record plat is the final step in the process of subdividing the property. Once the plan is approved and the record and recorded, the proposed lot configurations will be finalized. There was one condition on that project. Completion of escrow will be required to guarantee the installation improvements for the site, sidewalks, and stormwater facility, as shown on the preliminary plat prior to the final execution of the plat by the city. The project was presented to the Planning and Zoning Commission on January 5th. The motion passed 8-0 with 2 absent. Bort Carmen's here, Lewis and Beatty, if you have any questions on that project.
It's a long walk.
For the record, Bart Corman, Lewis and Beatty. Tim explained it pretty well. We did the preliminary plat a few months ago, and we're just actually dividing the lots. This one, real simple, ready to roll.
Any questions? Nope. I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of Bill number 06-23.
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Alderman Miller, seconded by Alderman Jaspering.
An ordinance of the City of Warrenton, Missouri, approving the final plat of the subdivision known as Oak Acres Villas.
I'll entertain a motion for the second reading of Bill number 06-23.
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Alderman Quarter, seconded by Alderman Cullum.
An ordinance of the City of Warrenton, Missouri, approving the final plat of the subdivision known as Oak Acres Villas.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Quarter.
Yes.
Alderman Cullum.
Yes.
Alderman Jaspering.
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Alderman Schultz. Alderman Crump.
Yes.
Bill passes 6-0.
Our next project is the Kennard Commercial Subdivision Rezone, ZC 74. Presley Kennard Revocable Trust has submitted an application for a change in zoning for a 1.26 acre tract of land on the south side of Veterans Memorial Parkway, west of Highway 47. The request is to rezone the area from Agricultural Reserve District to C3 Highway Commercial. A preliminary plat and final plat to create one new lot has been submitted in conjunction with this change in zoning application. These requests are discussed in a subsequent report. So I have another project for the preliminary and record plat. The proposal seeks to permit zoning that would allow for consistent commercial development in the area. Further commercial development will have access to existing utility service and access to Veterans Memorial Parkway. Zoning the subject site to highway commercial C3 would result in a use of the development consistent with the comprehensive plan. All items and notices required by state and local law have been provided and completed. The proposal is consistent with the future land use map and the policies within the comprehensive plan. This project was presented at Planning and Zoning on January 5th. The motion passed 8-0 with 2 absence. Bart can answer questions on this project. Any questions for me?
Just for clarification, the bill number 07-23 deals with the zoning change, and the bill number 08-23 deals with the preliminary and final plats. Is that just for clarifications on those?
Yes.
For the record, Bart Corman, Lucid Beatty. So this is a property across from the Schnooks Drive and west of US Bank. So the rezone would come first, so then we would do the preliminary plat and the final plat to be able to market this piece for commercial properties. So pretty simple. We're not going to get rid of the goats. They'll just be further west. So I'll answer any questions anybody may have, because I know that's everybody's question. So
Where's the goats gonna go?
they're just going to stay on the rest of the property.
that are there.
I was at that meeting, and that was one thing that they assured, that the goats would stay there, and just that 1 acre, whatever it was, 1.26 is the only thing that's going to be for commercial or change.
Right.
And everything else was going to stay the same as long as they possibly could, is my understanding.
As long as they possibly can, the family's going to keep it that way.
Sure. Okay.
Yep.
Leslie would want it that way. All right, any other questions?
Nope.
I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 07-23.
Moved. Second.
Motion made by McCullum, second by Jaspering.
An ordinance of the City of Warrenton, Missouri, amending the zoning ordinance and zoning map of the city and providing for the rezoning of a certain tract of land approximately 1.26 acres in size, generally located on Veterans Memorial Parkway.
I'll entertain a motion for the second reading of bill number 07-23.
So moved. Second.
Okay, for the so moved, who'd you get first?
Alderman Miller.
Motion made by Alderman Miller, seconded by Alderman Quarter.
An ordinance of the City of Warrenton, Missouri, amending the zoning ordinance and zoning map of the city and providing for the rezoning of a certain tract of land approximately 1.26 acres in size, generally located on Veterans Memorial Parkway.
Roll call vote.
Alderman Cullum.
Yes.
Alderman Jaspering.
Yes.
Alderman Miller.
Yes.
Alderman Schultz.
Yes.
Alderman Crump.
Yes.
Alderman Quarter.
Yes.
Bill passes 6-0.
The last project's going to be Canard Commercial Subdivision, SUPD 107. That's preliminary and final record plat for that same 1.26 acres. Process Canard will propose to submit an application for a preliminary/final record plat for the 1.26 acre tract of land on the south side of Veterans Memorial Parkway, west of Highway 47. The preliminary plat application is to create 1 new commercial lot that has been submitted in conjunction with the final plat application. On the staff analysis, utilities, water, sanitary sewer, storm sewer exist on Veterans Memorial Parkway to serve the plat. The proposed preliminary final record plat is consistent with Chapter 410 of the subdivision regulations of the Warrenton Municipal Code, and the commercial subdivisions proposed design furthers the comprehensive plan goals. This project was submitted or presented to the Planning and Zoning on January 5th. The motion passed 8-0 with 2 absence. Any questions for me? Yeah, Bart's here. If you have any questions on that last project.
No. I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 08-2. Hello. It's not lighting up, is it?
You should.
On the audio? Hello. There you go. I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 08-23.
So moved.
Second. Go ahead and get Miller.
Motion made by Alderman Crump, seconded by Alderman Miller.
An ordinance of the City of Warrenton, Missouri, approving the preliminary and final plat of the subdivision known as Canard Commercial Subdivision.
Entertain a motion for the second reading of bill number 08-23.
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Alderman Cullum, seconded by Alderman Quarter.
An ordinance of the City of Warrenton, Missouri, approving the preliminary and final plat of the subdivision known as Canard Commercial Subdivision.
Roll call vote?
Alderman Jaspering?
Yes.
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Alderman Quarter?
Yes.
Alderman Cullum?
Bill passes 6-0.
I'll do it. The last thing that we have for you tonight is Hawthorne Square, which is over off of Annual Way, the plaza over off by Walmart. That is, they originally had an easement that went through there. They've since built that over the easement. Nothing was ever put there. They actually took that sewer around the building. And so this is just an ordinance to vacate that easement that's currently going underneath that building.
Okay. Any questions on that? No. I'll entertain a motion for the first reading of bill number 09-23.
So moved. Second.
Is that Jaspering first?
Yeah.
Motion made by Alderman Jaspering, second by Alderman Schultz.
I'm sorry, Mayor, who was the second?
Schultz, correct?
Correct.
An ordinance of the City of Warrenton, Missouri, providing for the release and vacation of a utility line easement granted by an instrument dated October 25th, 1985, and recorded in Book 318 at page 294 to 295 in the Office of the Recorder of Deeds at Warren County, Missouri.
Entertain a motion for the second reading of bill number 09-23.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Miller, seconded by Alderman Quarter.
An ordinance of the City of Warrenton, Missouri, providing for the release and vacation of a utility line easement granted by an instrument dated October 25th, 1985, and recorded in Book 318 at page 294 to 295 in the Office of the Recorder of Deeds at Warren County, Missouri.
Roll call vote?
Alderman Miller?
Yes.
Alderman Schultz?
Yes.
Alderman Crump?
Yes.
Alderman Quarter?
Yes.
Alderman Cullum?
Yes.
Alderman Jaspering?
Yes.
Bill passes 6-0. I'll entertain a motion to close the regular Board of Alderman meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Schultz, seconded by Alderman Crump. Roll call- or all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. We are so adjourned.